My philosophy on business is two things. Number one, strategy. Number two, caring for people. I'm going to focus today on strategy. I recently graduated with my master's degree in communication, and I have 3 graduate certificates. One of them is health advocacy, which really focused on advocacy in general, but it was emphasizing in health advocacy. The second one is strategic communication, and then the third one is social and new media. And before that, my undergrad, my bachelor's degree is also in communication with an emphasis in public relations and a marketing minor with a digital marketing certificate. And today I'm going to be talking about strategy. So strategy is so important in business. A lot of the times people will think, hey, let me just throw spaghetti at the wall and expect something magical to happen. And it's not going to happen. You need strategy in business. It is so important. And strategy means, what is the big picture here? What is the big vision? Where are we going? Is it fiscal? Are we talking fiscal year? Are we talking 3 years? Are we talking quarterly? Maybe bi-yearly? But in order for a business to not feel like they're just constantly running and flying off their seat, you got to have strategy. And strategy includes knowing where you stand. So in marketing, it's what's your point of differentiation? How are you different from your competitors? How are you different from anybody in the world? And knowing that differentiation can be used to make that strategy. And you need to have a concrete strategic plan. And I'm not talking about a plan where it's like, oh, I'm going to write down every little tiny thing that we need to do. This is when this goes out and it says this and this is exactly when every day. No. You have to think big picture, big vision. What are you as an entity, as a business, as a service? Where are you going? What do you want to be? What's your vision? What's your mission? Mission, what are you doing now? What's working now? What's not working? And these things have to be written down in a plan. And the reason why is because when people come and then people go. It's just how it is in the world. People will start at your business. People will leave your business. You will start your business and you might leave your own business. Or you might add a bunch of team members. Maybe your business blows up. Maybe it's just you. Either way, you need to have a concrete strategic plan, because it's something that you can reference when you go back and you have to say, hey, this worked, this didn't work, this might have, we could have done something better here, or maybe this was great, this was excellent. But having it all in your head and not having something that's concrete and written down, you're literally going to feel like you're flying off of your seat and everything's on fire. And I've had personal experiences with this in business and other people's businesses that I was a part of. The team just feels like it's just all upheaval and nobody knows where anything's going. And it just, you're just day by day making these decisions just on the fly, just making these decisions. And I'm an ENTJ, so I am a very decisive person, but I know that strategy is so important. And you could be decisive and strategic. You could be decisive about your strategy, But making these just quick, oh, let's do this, this is happening, and it's reactive. That's what it is. It's being reactive versus proactive. And when you're proactive, you can sit back, you can be calm, and you can say, this is where we're guiding this to be, because we've thought about this. We've written this down. We've done brainstorming as a team. We've done research. Research is so important, and it all takes time. So you have to sit back, even if it takes, I can make a strategic plan in a day, and if to really, really grind it down, it could be a few days or a week. But even if it's a month, let's say it's a month, let's say it's 2 months, okay? Let's say we're really grinding down and getting this strategic plan, right? We're doing all this audience research, we're doing competitor analysis and research, who we talking to, and that's why audience research is so important, because you need to know who you're talking to. You need to know who you're talking to. And so even if it takes 3 months, let's just say, that's wild. It would even take that long at all. But let's just say it does, okay? That's 3 months of time out of the rest of your business. And I'm not saying to reuse the same strategic plan. I'm saying to take the time to make the strategic plan. And then once it's there, you reference it. So let's say you make the strategic plan, and then for 1 year, and then the year goes by, you go back, you look at the strategic plan you made, and you say, hey, this was excellent. This worked great. This strategy that we made, that we brainstormed on, this was excellent. This worked. So let's do it again. Oh, this part, that was horrible. Nobody, it didn't catch traction at all. Like, nobody liked it. We're not going to use it again. So you're not remaking the strategic plan. You're referencing it back. But you always need to make sure you're doing your audience research all the time. Really, it should be all the time. Maybe realistically quarterly or bi-yearly. But really, you should have somebody on the team that can be doing this all the time, realistically. A strategist, and then like people that are doing like more tactical work. But yeah, so even if it does take 3 months out of your time, you're setting yourself up for success to where you don't have to be flying off of your seat or like a plane that's like crashing down, because that's what it's going to feel like when you're being reactive and when you're not being proactive. An example I have is deleting bad comments. Let's say, we all have social media. All these businesses have social media. And let's say a customer's upset and they comment on your post, or they just straight up comment on your profile, and let's just say they hate you, or they're completely just disgusted by something, or they're very upset. The one thing you do not want to do is delete that comment. Because number one, as a communication master, I'm saying this, it's showing that you're hiding something, that you don't care about them. You're deleting something that they're concerned about. What you need to do, and here's strategy, and this goes into crisis strategy. Respond to them. Tell them, we hear you. We care about you. You've been a guest before with us, or maybe they haven't, maybe they just heard something, but we hear you. We care that you're saying something to us. We care about your opinion and your thoughts. Or, how can I make this right for you? Let me try something. Let me, as an organization, as a company, let's try to make this right. Anything but deleting that comment. And here's why. Businesses are communication. Think about it. Without communication, it would just be a physical building standing there, just a physical space. because everything in business is communication. You're communicating with your guests. You're communicating with your customers. You're communicating with your employees. You're communicating with leadership. You're communicating with external vendors. You're communicating with your stakeholders. You're communicating with the public. You're communicating with politicians, with politics. I mean, if you have like very large businesses, it's all communication. Imagine a business that has no communication. It's not a business. It's just a building. It's just a physical structure. So to delete comments is the worst strategy. So if you want to learn anything, is to have a good strategy. And a good strategy means brainstorming ahead of time, being proactive, not reactive. And, writing down where you're going to go. And, in marketing, what's the point of differentiation? Where are we placing ourselves in the marketplace? It is so, so, so important. And like I said earlier, you can't just be throwing spaghetti or catching it, because that's really what it feels like when you're being reactive. You're like catching the spaghetti and it's splashing everywhere. What do? You're just going off the handle with it, In business, you have to be calm and collected. What's our next move? Think ahead before something happens, because something's going to happen. The season's changing. Summer's coming. Let's start thinking about this late winter, because it's going to come. It's going to happen. Or early spring, or depending on what kind of business it is. You have to think ahead of time, and you have to write it down. It has to be a concrete document that people can reference, that the sales directors can reference, that leadership can reference. Quite frankly, I think all employees should be able to see the strategic plan. And, it's to have everybody in the team being on the same page. We're being strategic here. Let's have everybody in the team understand what's going on. You can't just have a strategy and not have your team members understand what's going on. So, yes, my business philosophy, number 1, is being strategic. And in other terms, is being proactive and not reactive. Because when you're reactive, things are just going to be crazy. And it's going to feel crazy. And that's not what you want in business. My next video is going to be on my second philosophy on business, which is caring for people. And that's going to be a very interesting one. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this video on, are you strategic? Do you have a strategic plan? What is included in your strategic plan? Do you have goals? Do you have SMART objectives? Do you have a strategy that differentiates yourself from your competitors? I'm curious on how you do your business, and I'm curious on what you think about my philosophy. I would love to hear it. Comment, like, subscribe if you like my content. And I'm really excited to continue talking about this stuff. I find it very passionate, and I'm so happy that you are watching, and that hopefully you're getting something from this and you're learning. That's one of my values, is learning. So I hope that, I can pass that along to whoever is watching this video. And I will see you next time. Thank you.